Alright guys, so today I'll be going through the first part of probability. Right, so before we get start probability, you ought to be familiar with the types of data. Right, so the two types of data will be remembered through the years quantitative data and qualitative. So as the word says, quantitative data have to do with numbers, with the data that you are taking numerical. Right, and the two type of quantitative data, they are discrete and they have continuous. All right, so to break it down here, discrete, this type of data, it could only take whole numbers or numbers that have no in between. So it could either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not in between 1 and 2, in between 2 and 3, in between. So it can't take decimals and all those kind of stuff. They're just fixed numbers. All right. And continuous, as the word says, it could take numbers in between. So it takes a range. It range between numbers. So for example, discrete 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, those two distinct discrete points will be discrete. Continuous will be like 1, 2, 2. So any of the possible numbers in between 1 and 2, 1, 2, 2 arranged in between, so that will be considered continuous data. So examples of discrete is the amount of buildings. So you can't have half a building or quarter of a building. It's only one building or no building. Right? The amount of buildings, the amount of bottles, cups, computers, fingers, right? Those are discrete types of data, right? Continuous would be like time, weight, mass, um, length. Yeah, anything that you can have readings in between or a range will be considered continuous, right? So discrete and continuous as the first thing in muscle. So let's run through a little exercise. So all the other right here is whether the data is discrete or continuous. Right, so part A, the time it takes a student selected at random to register for a full semester. Time is continuous. So this will be continuous. B, the number of or bad checks drawn, right? Checks. You can have half a check. All right, so this here will be discrete. C, the amount of gasoline. So remember gasoline as volume, right? And you can have 10.6 at the gas station. You can have, yeah, decimals in between. So weight, mass, volume, those will be continuous. Right. D, the number of traffic fatalities per year. Right. So when you count in those, you can't count half a traffic fatality. All right. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So this would be the streets. Right. Distance, you got world travel. Distance is continuous, but like length. The number of ships. Right. So when you count in ships, that'll be discrete. And well, weight is continuous. All right. So that's our next exercise for the first part. So we learn discrete and continuous data. Discrete data, it only takes fixed unique points, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then continuous, it could take a range or decimals to make it easier for you. Right, so just think about what type of variable you have. And with respect to the variable, you just ask yourself, what type? Will it take whole numbers or discrete points or nothing in between? Or will it take in the in between or a range? Yeah, so that really it.